everybody, welcome back to M&R Reviews 118 for the Tough Reviews, episode 3. So anyway, this movie came out in the year of, I think, 2008, or 2009, I'm sorry, came out in the year 2009. Coming off of Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr. became a very, very hit actor at that time. He was already a pretty good hit actor. Iron Man made him more notable for the people that didn't know who he was. So anyway, and then he came out with another movie the next year, came out on Christmas Day. It was highly anticipated, and the movie ironically failed, and not a lot of people remember a lot about it because they only watched it like one time. But it did have a sequel called A Game of Shadows, and that was pretty decent. But the movie we're talking about is Sherlock Holmes. And I just want to start out by saying, Robert Downey Jr., the character, Sherlock Holmes, the character, that was okay. It wasn't characters, to be honest with you, the characters and acting was great. It was just a matter of storyline and the way they had the movie set out that, made it very disappointing. So there's this guy Blackwood. He's a very evil guy, and so they hang him, and he wears something under his clothes so he could stay alive. But it makes him have no pulse. It's kind of like Romeo and Juliet, like that death potion that Juliet takes, sort of like that. So anyway, and then they say he rises from the grave, and then they want their greatest detective, Sherlock Holmes, to get on the case. And therefore, they're going after Blackwood, and it's kind of like, it's more like something that Edgar Allan Poe would write. It's very dark, it's very mysterious. So it would look like if Edgar Allan Poe made a movie, it would be Sherlock Holmes. And it's like you see this raven going around. When the raven's there, it makes it like Blackwood was a ghost. But as it turned out, I'll get to that at the end of the movie here later on in the video. So anyway, what was I going? The movie was hard to follow, and that's an improvement they made in the second one, was that it was more easier to follow. It was just that the storyline was just hard to understand. It wasn't as hard as the source code. If you haven't seen that movie, you need to watch it. It's a good movie, but you're going to have to watch it at least 3 times to understand what is going on, because that movie is very confusing. But it's a good movie, to say the least. It's a really good movie. But anyway, so Sherlock Holmes, it was hard to follow. It just lacked so much, except for acting. The acting, like I said early on, was great. They picked the right actors for their characters. I mean, acting-wise was great, and character-wise was pretty good. So then we see at the end of the movie when Sherlock Holmes finds all the evidence, and he's like preaching it out like really fast, kind of like you see one of those guys in those auctions, like that, stuff like that. He's kind of doing that, not that fast though, but that's the best example I can give you if you haven't seen these movies. So he's telling what happened, and there's this one part of the movie where, from what I can remember, because I've only seen the movie one time because it was just so bad. He gets a letter, and he's got a gun, and he shoots it. It says, if you pull the trigger one more time, you will die. And he's like, I don't believe this. Blackwood is dead. Bam! He gets on fire. They think it's a spirit. Then we realize, and that's the bad thing. Sherlock Holmes finds the evidence, but at the end of the movie, it just says, I found this and that, and this and that. In Sherlock Holmes 2, we see evidence. They actually show Holmes finding the evidence, and even if it doesn't show him finding it, it flashes back to see how he found it. In that movie there, he was just speaking it out and showed like Blackwood there was this bullet, and when you would shoot it, it would flame off, it would like backfire on you. It would explode. So they got it right in Sherlock Holmes 2, which was a Game of Shadows. And if I'm not mistaken, there's going to be a 3 by the ending of A Game of Shadows. It's very promising that there's going to be 3. I haven't heard anything about it, but Robert Downey Jr.'s got a hit movie coming out this May titled Iron Man 3. I'm very excited to see that movie. I'm very excited to see Man of Steel. But anyway, the tough reviews. Now's the time to get mad. Now I've been trying to do this video calm. It's time to get mad. Okay, maybe not too mad. But I hate that movie. Why does it have to be so complicated? Why did Robert Downey Jr. agree to be in this movie? And why was it so flippin' impossible to understand? The point I'm trying to make is that Sherlock Holmes is one of the few movies that has been highly anticipated and only been seen one time by a lot of people. I'm not even sure if that movie made over $400 million. I'm not even sure if it made $300 million, because some movies that it says you make good money is at least $700 million. And great money is $1 billion. Oh yeah. Sherlock Holmes sucks. Anyway, the trailer was awesome. Believe it or not, the trailer was like one of the best trailers I've ever seen in my life. But the movie, it just didn't have any help with the movie. I'm sorry. I hate Sherlock Holmes more than I hate this movie. I love 007 and Quantum of Solace. Folks, this is going to be a hint of what's coming for the new Tough Reviews. It ain't even a hit. I just blew it away for you. I already told you what's next for next weekend. Quantum of Solace, I know it'll be the first 4 episodes, and 2 of them will have 007 in it. I love Daniel Craig. He's the best Bond in my opinion, and he was a good Bond in this movie. It was like the acting. The acting was great. The characters were great. It was just the people that made the movie sucked. But Bond is awesome, but the movie not so much. So I'll go into further detail in it next weekend. So people, if you haven't seen Sherlock Holmes, don't see it. Don't even waste your time unless you just have to see it. I just flipped out right there because I hate the movie. This is the thing about the Tough Reviews. I hate talking about it. I hate talking about it. Anyway, as always, hope you enjoyed, and like and subscribe. Me and Matthew say, see you guys later.